Okay, hello. I'm back. I'm trying to get this drawing finished by the end of the week. So we're gonna work today mainly on the hair, I think. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time for more because I always spend a lot of time on the hair. I just love it. I enjoy it so much. So I'm gonna quickly finish up the tracking shoot over here and then we'll move on to the hair. I'm just gonna quickly send a little story to my Instagram just to see if any of my followers want to come, so I just warned them. I'll start drawing in a minute. Okay, story uploaded. Sip of coffee, and now let's draw. Well, first let me set up my reference for a second. Whoops. Oh, hey Photoshop, are you okay? There. Hi, welcome to the stream. Whoops. A trick for drawing clothes is to add wrinkles, but not too many. A lot of people add too many wrinkles and then it doesn't look realistic. Though, yeah, I'm just starting streaming, so I'm trying to get used to it. So I'm just jumping in a day at a time for a little bit. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the record version of yesterday. I'm just trying to get this drawing finished by the end of the week. I have a convention in like a month, so I'm trying to get a bit more fan art done for that convention. If there's anything wrong with the recording or the audio or something, please let me know. I just can't know if I don't see it until later. So please do let me know if there's something odd. Yeah, I'm just such a beginner that I don't know. I might forget things. It's exactly in a month actually. It's the 11th and 12th of February on the weekend. It's in Madrid, where I live. So I'm lucky because I have it closed. I already have a lot of art done for it. This is just, I want to update a little bit the art that I take, so I'm just drawing a few last pieces before I go. You need to stay up to date with the trends when you go to conventions. Last time I didn't know that, and you know it affects the sales and everything. If there's a trend going on, you need to do it. Oh yeah, I will. I'm actually watching it because for Squid Game, I want to watch it with my boyfriend, so I'm waiting. It's always like one series on top of the other, so you never have enough time to watch all. But I'm actually watching Arcane. I'm in chapter 3, I think, and I'm planning to do Arcane next. Actually, after this, I'm still deciding on what character. I'm probably gonna go for Jinx, but you know, I just barely saw her in the series because I'm just in chapter 3, so I still don't know. But yeah, Arcane is gonna be next, definitely. As I said, keeping up with the trends. In my last convention in September, it was Loki. There was Loki everywhere, and I liked the series too, but I just didn't have time to draw anything. And it was funny how everyone was dressed as Loki. Everyone had fan art, but also like very random fan art of everything that appeared in the series. I don't want to say much in case the viewers haven't watched it, but let's just say they were crocodiles in fan art a lot. By the way, if you watched Arcane, let me know about what's your favorite character. I'm really very lost about which one's the favorite of all because I've only seen fan art of Jinx mostly. I'm not sure if I should just play it safe and go with the fan art of Jinx, or I don't know if there's any other character that people love a lot. I just, for some reason, I'm always late to the trends of fan art. Okay, see, I haven't even I don't remember the names yet of most of the characters. So let me just quickly Google them. Oh, okay, Jace, the scientist. Okay. I still haven't gotten. Yeah, I will have to agree with that. Not. I don't hate him, but so far he hasn't caught my attention. Like, for some reason he's uninteresting, even though he's a scientist and he's doing all of the magic stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. I'm lost. But yeah, for some reason he doesn't catch my attention either. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but we'll see. I do have to say that I love the aesthetics of the what's here? She's the counselor. She's like the girl that rules the reach part. I haven't got the names right yet, but I love the aesthetics of her with the hair and the gold and everything. But I don't know if that's going to be a very popular character to draw, and probably because if I had time to do several, I would, but I probably won't have time to do a bunch of them, so I'll probably just play it safe. Yeah, I think I saw someone draw her too. Like, this, she's not obviously the most drawn character, but I've seen some fan art of her as well. I don't know what will happen next with her. I don't know if she appears a lot or if she doesn't do much really. But she has caught my eye definitely. Yes. And the environments too. Like, I think in the future I will love to do some studies of the environments as well. I really like the aesthetics of sort of cyberpunk. Yes, it does. Gold, yellows, oranges. They just really shines. I also feel like most of the story in Arcane starts after chapter 3, so I feel like I haven't watched anything yet. I need to catch up this week so I can do fan art. Maybe next week, or by the end of this one. I don't know when I'm gonna finish this one. Silco is the. Sorry about bad about the names. Yeah, okay. This one I got at the first time. Yeah, see this the what I've seen so far about Silco. I'm not really loving him. Like the character that was the father before of Vi and Powder. I really like that character, but I haven't seen anything of Silco yet as a father. So I can't say. I just feel like it changes a lot ever since chapter 3 because I really don't know anything about Jinx yet or Selko really. I mean, I just knew that he wanted to do some sort of a revolution, but he killed everyone that seemed good until that point, so I don't know. I'm guessing he will have sort of a redemptive arc or something, but I'm not sure yet. I do tend to go for drawing females if I can, really. I just feel more comfortable drawing females, but Silco does have a really interesting face too. I mean, they all have really in this show, like most of them. Maybe it's because of the way they design the characters or something, but they all seem very interesting. I would love to do some sort of a character design sesh of just studies of them, but yeah, no time yet. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Um, I'm not sure if there's anything I can do to lower the resolution or something. Let me see if I can find anything. Oh, it's alright. I just checked, and on my end, I can't change it right now. But knowing that is actually good for me because I thought that maybe streaming in a best quality was better, but maybe it's better to just stream in a medium quality, which will also look good. And so more people can join without any trouble. I'm just so used to YouTube and things like that where better quality is best. But yes, obviously for streaming, maybe it's harder to keep up with everyone in very high resolution. I don't know. I will post the stream later as well as a recording, so if you see that it's a bit harder to follow, you still can watch it later. Ooh, I like how that 7 looks. The other numbers look a bit odd, but the 7 looks actually nice. I don't think I've ever drawn a zipper up from so close. So I'm just gonna do this to fill it up and just color it dark. I'm gonna add some last minute wrinkles to the clothes just to make it look a bit more realistic. In fact, the tracksuit's not gonna have that much detail really, but I still want it to look a bit real. This one doesn't look good there. Okay, now I'm gonna move to the fun part, the hair. I've realized between yesterday and today that I forget to save on the streams, and usually when I'm working, I'm saving every 5 minutes. So let's hope that Photoshop doesn't crash in one of these, because I'm forgetting to save. I don't like how that looks. Let's start again. I think my brush is too thick. I really like softer brushes for hair because it makes it look a bit more natural. Okay, best of luck with your work, and thank you for keeping me company. I feel like I should be giving advice from time to time about what I'm doing. Sorry if I forget. I just get a bit in the zone where I'm drawing when I'm drawing, especially when I'm drawing hair. I actually did a tutorial recently on my YouTube channel about how to draw hair. I know a lot of people struggle with it, so if you're interested in that and you're watching and you're wondering about drawing hair, that's there. One trick I've learned a long time ago that has always worked for me is adding loose strands of hair around everything. Don't make the hair look too tidy because real hair never looks that tidy. And even if you want it to look tidy, like it just doesn't look natural. So messy is best when drawing. Messy hair at least. It's pretty important to keep it loose while you work on hair, not making all the strands go in the same direction, not make them all exactly the same. It's just not how hair works, and it will look unnatural, especially obviously if you're drawing wavy or curly hair. If you've ever had wavy or curly hair, or a friend with wavy or curly hair, you'll know. It obviously follows a direction, especially like falling down from the skull and everything. And that's not exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm not suddenly gonna make a hair do this. But following the direction, it just never does the same thing. So I always feel like letting my wrist loose and doing big movements helps with making strands of hair look a bit more natural. I usually work with a bigger brush when I'm doing stuff like this, like the general shape of the hair, and then I add thinner strands with a little brush. Though most of my thinner strands will be in the outside as just loose hairs, but sometimes in the inside as well, it depends. Mostly on the outside. Also because this helps me to shade around areas that I want just to shade or be lighter. In this case, I want to make sure that this part looks like the inside of the hair and that this is in front. So obviously I'm going to shade around it. Another funny thing about hair is that a lot of times when you're working on it, you'll commit little mistakes that end up looking good for some reason. Just because, as I said, Hair benefits from a bit of randomness. There's obviously some technique behind it. I'm not saying that you can just draw scribbles and the hair will look good, obviously, but there are times that when you know what you're doing, some lines will just look messy until they're up there around the hair. As long as you follow the directions where the hair is supposed to go. Okay, we're almost done with one side. This is gonna finish over here. For parts like this, I want the brush bigger and thicker. Just because, as you can see, most of what I'm doing is shading. I'm shading this part because the hair is being born here, so it's darker. This part, at least in my eyes, is receiving light, so I don't want to see as many lines on there. And this one, as it curls down again and, you know, goes inside, and there's a little bit like more hair, I'm making it darker too. So I'll go in first with a bigger brush, shading a bit and adding like bigger lines that I feel looks more natural, and then sometimes I go in with a smaller brush and fill it in again. Not as much, just to make it a bit more detailed. Okay, and this side is finished. I'm just gonna add a few loose strands before I move on to the other side. And here I'm just messy. I don't really mind much. Sometimes I feel like I'm going a bit overboard, but then you zoom back and it's just nothing. So don't be afraid. Though if you feel like you're really going overboard, you can always undo, obviously. I like to add some smaller hairs over here. Either like we're seeing the back of the hair over there, or just some loose strands as well. It just looks a bit more natural. Okay, and I'm done with that side. I'm gonna flip the canvas over. It's just more comfortable for me to to work with hair and make loose strands in the other side. So just work how you're more comfortable. And if digital gives you those advantages, use them. And please don't ever feel guilty for using any digital tools. Like, it's fine. The technique of working in strands works really well for me. Just like this. I use a strand. Like right now, my process is a bit more messier, but this is how I started originally. And I just shade on some parts and leave some others brighter where the light would hit. And you could really repeat this process in all the hair. That's basically what I do. Obviously, after doing it so many times, there's a lot of things that I already do subconsciously, but that's basically the technique behind it. In this bottom part, most of the hair will be darker because it will be in shade both from the face and from the rest of the hair on top. Just keep in mind things like this when you're working on hair too, because it affects them. It's not only the face or not only the clothes. This part is probably gonna be lighter in most normal lighting situations. This extra bit of shading not only gives a bit more depth to the hair, but it also makes it look a bit more realistic because it blends some of the lines. You really don't really need to see that many lines because we just, when we see the full amount of hair, we don't see just lines. We see the full thing. I already added some shade over here, but I feel like it needs a bit more. Okay. Most of this part I will consider sort of like a big strand of hair. So I'm gonna leave it for in a second. I'm just first gonna do a little few strands over here. I usually leave these strands of hair for last, but now that I have a thin brush, I'm just gonna add them. And work on the last strand of the hair. The lines on the hair need to follow the shape of the skull, and obviously the shape of the hair. I didn't like how they crossed over here. Sometimes it's alright because they're gonna end up covered, but I just didn't like them. Here it follows the shape of the skull, but also how the curl does this shape. So just try to follow along and you'll end up with natural looking hair. Now I'm gonna go over with a little thinner brush for some extra strands here and there. And now some shading. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. As you can see, I'm not really filling the hair with lines. I'm doing it in strategical points so it looks realistic, basically. It hasn't been bad. I can't complain. I've actually received some merch for my upcoming convention that I have in about a month, and it's always really fun to open packages with merch or with little things you order, right? I've made tote bags for the first time and received that, and also buttons. So it's always fun to see those things in person after you order them and you've been waiting them for months. Thank you. Well, I'm not that successful, I hope. I work a lot to try, but I hope this convention goes well because I've done a lot of cool new things and I hope that people like them. They have a lot of restrictions, but they are working. I actually went to the first one in September, and this is like one of the bigger events here in Spain. It's called Japan Weekend, and they were cancelled for like over a year, but they opened again last year. We obviously have to wear masks all the time, and we have to have I can't remember how it's called in English, the liquid to disinfect your hands, obviously, and things like that. People shouldn't touch too much your stuff. I think in Madrid we don't need the vaccine pass. Yes, hand sanitizer. Thank you. I just had a block in my head. But yeah, you need a lot of things like that. People shouldn't touch too much, though people touch it anyway. You can't eat except in some areas. Usually you will be able to eat, especially if you're alone in your booth. Now you can't for obvious reasons and stuff like that. They just add more measures, and a lot of the people don't enter all at once. They have like hours to enter, so they sort of take some people out before they let more people in and things like that. I don't know. They had some measures, and hopefully it's fine. In September it was fine, and people are really really excited to be back at these events because people have been so coped up at home that obviously need some distraction, right? Thank you. I hope it goes well. Okay, so we're done with the hair. Sorry for the distraction. Just got a few weird messages on Instagram. I don't know why is there so much spam lately. Okay, so this is how the line arc. Sorry, this is how the line art looks so far. Um, this is the hair. Now all together there. This is the rest of the drawing. This is the previous. If you haven't seen it before, this was the initial sketch. Now very rough, like this. It has changed a lot. And after that, I cleaned it up a bit with this line art over here. That, for to be completely honest, I already liked how the face looked with the line art, but I wanted to sharpen it a bit, so I did it again. And this is the final line art. So we're gonna start painting now. Yeah, it's just you look at your phone and you suddenly are out of it. And I got a couple of messages, so I was like, what's happening? Okay, let's turn it back. There. I want to take off the sketch layers, but for some reason I like it better when they're on. Odd things that happen. Okay, let's start organizing the layers a bit. I realized that I worked better when I organized layers, so I've started doing that. So I can just compress it and have them there like that. I have a bit of the base colors over here, but I'm not sure if I want to use them. Oh, something happened. Okay, something weird happened. I probably changed proportions of some things, so it looks a bit odd. Okay, we'll ignore that and we'll start again. Just like I haven't colored anything. So I have a bit of reference over here. This is the reference I used to draw her because I didn't really knew much of her character. Oh, it's not this. Wrong layer. And I really like the color scheme of this photo. So what I did is apply a filter to this photo to make it like this. This way you can get out the color palette. Just a quick little tip if anyone wants to use it. I actually used a filter over here from the gallery. Just try it and find one that you like. It's not exactly like, I'm probably not going to use just these colors, but I'm going to use it as a base because I really liked the red on her face, contrasting with the greens and sort of blue greens in the background. So I'm gonna use that. Let's start by giving some base to the face. Not sure if I should go directly from the redder tone or I think I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, let's color now. I'm gonna grab a harder brush for this so it's just faster. I think it was this one. Yeah. I'm having a hard time remembering which parts were supposed to be skin, which weren't. I think something like this, maybe? Oh no, I think like this. Okay, let's fill it up. One little tip is never use completely white for the eyes. No, not so pink. Well, that's gonna be colored in anyway. Okay, seems like I have to go. I need to go on a walk before it gets way too late over here. You know, just After spending all day sitting over here, you need to do some exercise. I'm trying to be better. I'm gonna leave it over here. So basically today was a hair tutorial. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be back. I think tomorrow I have a pretty busy afternoon, but I'll try to put a little calendar thing in Twitch when I think I will be streaming. Hopefully this week. But yeah, let's leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you the next time I stream. Thank you so much for keeping me company and being here. And I hope you learned something or at least were entertained.